What's up, man?
Hey, Jake Rasmussen here. Andy Blank's there. I don't know if you're going to be on the left or right now that I think about
Yeah, no, I can see myself in the right. I can see a lot of you though. Hey, buddy.
it. Well, there is a lot of me to see when it's just
I
this
would
little
say
thing. I
that.
appreciate you for pointing that out. That's great. I'm here in the YM360 studio.
Uh,
Where are you?
I'm not. I'm actually sitting in my son's bed. That's the new COVID universe we're living in. My house is not very conducive to having a whole family of six in it at one time. So the place that I could go have this chat with you, Jake, is sitting in my son's room.
I hear you, man. Right before we kicked this off, we were like, "Do are we supposed to be lighthearted? Are we supposed to be funny? Are we supposed to be somber?"
Yeah.
Like, everyone's still trying to figure out this whole COVID universe that we're in right now.
I know, man. It's tough. My wife and I are both working from our kitchen table this morning, and my son's just sitting there staring at us like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah, I think I dialed into you.
Yeah, so
So with that,
everybody
hey,
back.
yeah, we did, and we're just going to work through it. But I think
That's
there
right.
might
Let's
have been
work.
a little glitch, but it was only a second. But man, there's a lot of political jokes we could have made, but we'll totally refrain from that
Well,
right now.
and I was about to say I was with some teenagers this weekend, kind of in the last youth event we'll probably do for a while, and I'm not joking. There's a middle school boy that wanted to know if we could stream our event because of the coronavirus. He's like, "Is that going to infect our streaming?" And I just thought, God bless middle
That's
schoolers.
fair. Yeah, for real.
You know,
Well, hey, so there is kind of this new day that we're in, and it's really around this idea that we're not able to gather, right? So
that's
youth
right.
workers that we serve, that we're so passionate about, they're leading so well in this. But tell me a little bit about what God's put in your heart for this kind of next season on Wednesday nights here at
Yeah.
YM360.
That's great. And I would say this, be real clear that it's definitely a team emphasis at YM360. We all kind of stacked hands and was like, hey, how can we serve youth workers at a time where their rhythms are interrupted and they want to still be relevant in teenagers' lives and want to still provide ways for students to engage with God and not lose those. So much of it's about rhythm, like
Hmm.
losing that Wednesday after Wednesday rhythm that we try to get students in. And we're already kind of fighting that uphill battle with culture and sports and everything else. And now all of a sudden it's like, hey, we can't meet for the next month. And so our team was like, what can we do to empower youth ministers who may not have a solution for getting content to their students on a weekly basis? Our team came up with youth group at home, this idea that basically for the next 4 weeks, on Wednesday night, we're going to provide a sermon, maybe some games and stuff like that, some other little elements, and then a talk sheet for parents. I think it's for parents. We've been talking this back and forth. How do we
Yeah.
position this? I think the idea is that if you're a youth pastor, you're going to make this available to your parents so that they can meet in their homes with their kids around the Word of God and then process together
Yeah.
once the sermon part of it's over. So I think that's what we're
Yeah.
going for.
I think also acknowledging that these will also be for youth workers, people that are
That's right.
watching this right now, that we know that there's broken homes, that there's tons of different circumstances. So if it isn't just for parents, it's also for
That's
you as
right.
a youth worker to grab onto to text with students or Instagram,
Yeah,
however you're
that's right. However
communicating.
you want to do it.
We're not saying do it this way. We're just saying, hey,
Yeah,
we are a company, a ministry, an organization that prides ourselves on empowering discipleship.
that's right.
And we think just because something like this has happened is that we don't need to stop empowering discipleship really through you as a
Yeah.
youth worker.
And you and I were talking earlier, and we're seeing this, and it's so great. There's a lot of youth ministries out there, especially our full-time youth workers who they're doing this for their students.
Yeah.
They're already figuring out ways in their churches. Maybe their churches already has some streaming capability.
Hmm.
You and I have expressed our desire to come alongside that bivocational, that
So
volunteer
good.
youth worker who right now life is pretty turned upside down
Hmm.
with their own work and their own family. And maybe the last thing that guy or gal is thinking of is how am I providing content for Wednesday night?
Yeah.
We'd love to step in beside you and alongside you and just create a solution for you. If you're looking for that way to keep students engaged in the word, we'd love to help
Hmm.
you with youth group at home. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, that's a good word. YM360 at its core, right? We come alongside of you, creating high quality resources and life changing events, so
That's
you
right.
can spend time doing what matters most, and that's
Yeah.
leading students towards that vibrant relationship with Jesus. And so our hope is that if you would use this resource in your context, that it would free you up to be
Yeah.
relational with students,
That's right.
because we know youth group can't stop. We know that your calling is too great. And so we're so excited to come alongside of you. And Andy's alluded to this a couple of times. And I mean, this is our experiment, right? We're
Yeah,
saying, hey, we feel that God has equipped us to provide this. And our experiment is, will it be used? And so we
that's right.
challenge you to use it in the way that makes
Yeah.
most sense to you. And as you continue to hear from us in the coming days, Andy, kind of some a parting thought just within this time that we're in.
Yeah, I'll say this just real quickly. What we'll be covering in youth group at home is, I think, an extremely relevant message from the book of Colossians. Paul was addressing the chaos that was surrounding the Colossians. Their world was kind of falling apart. And into that environment, he preached Jesus as an anchor, as a stable source of a rock solid truth. And I'm excited about bringing that content to your students because I think it's a very relevant message.
Cool. Andy, I'm excited too. I'm excited that YM360 is playing a role, but more excited to see how youth workers in the trenches will use this
That's
as a
right.
blessing for their community. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the office tomorrow as we kick
All
off
right.
youth group at home.
That's right, man. Take care, buddy.